So I thought I'd do a quick video. Every Monday I try and record something to give out guidance for the energies of the week. When I woke up this morning, I was feeling very caught up in the old story of high anxiety and overachieving and over accomplishing things. And I shared that guidance in my group, believing that it had gone then, once I'd shared. It had transmuted, it had passed forward. I just dropped my husband off to work and we were discussing the poverty that is occurring at the moment, and we'd listened to something on the radio about certain political figures, which I'm not getting into here because it's a collective concern. We can point fingers at individuals left, right and centre, but it's a collective concern, and it feels like it's time to feel that, to be aware of that, not to let it bring us down, but to act now in any way that we can. And that's going to be very different for everybody. But we were talking about families that are in poverty, unable to eat, and what constitutes poverty. So there was assumptions in the conversation that it were people that weren't working. And I actually reflected back that it could be people that are working and getting furlough, or people that were once, quite well off with investments that they'd made in their businesses, and their businesses had shut down. Basically, poverty affects everybody in one way, shape or form. And we make a lot of assumptions about people, about situations, about what somebody needs, and about wealth or abundance, full stop. We make a very big assumption about wealth. And for me personally, that always portrays itself, reflects itself, or mirrors itself as money, as wealth being defined as money, abundance being defined as money. For others, that can come through differently, and I've had times in my life where my abundance was in my job, in my role, and making a difference, and that's where my abundance came from. Or my abundance came from my family, or my abundance came from sitting in a field and feeling the sun on my face in a country where I was free, where there was water to drink and food to eat, and I could drive my car regardless of my gender. What I'm getting at here is abundance comes in many ways, shapes and forms, because it's abundant. And when we start to limit it to money or jobs or relationships or purposes, we do just that, we limit it. Now, I've just dropped my husband off to work, and I'm actually really very aware of feeling emotional, very emotional. I'm about to start 3 days isolation prior to an operation, on my own womb, on my own sacral, my own creative centre. And I've really looked at the energy in this space, worked with it, journeyed with it myself, looked at old patterns and histories. And now, like any healing, the physical level is always the last to rebalance. I don't want to say heal, because there was never anything wrong or right with our path. It gets us where we need to be. But now, in order to rebalance that energy, it is the physical level that is left, physical results now. And for me, that includes an operation, which is something I've tried to avoid. And that feels very relevant this week, to merge the energies, medical and intuitive, holistic. It's time that all medicines came together, because they are abundant. They have a great wealth of knowledge, from complementary therapies to hidden gifts to intuition to surgery to medications. I've heard a lot about the drug war coming, a war on drugs in many levels, and it feels like a war on health, actually. By how do we cause wars? We separate, by separating holistic and medicinal, and in truth they go together, and go together beautifully. So that's really come up, and will continue to come up this week for many, it feels, particularly those in in the spotlight, so to speak, when it comes to healing or spirituality or different modalities of healing. It's important that these are merged. So I know that part of my journey is to actually share this with others after, and even now, the importance of bringing together all aspects of medicine. It is why I was a midwife first. To know how the body works and then apply it to what I'm intuitively feeling. And I can take that further. To know how people deliver and apply that to the intuitive feelings they are experiencing, myself included. So I know that these 3 days in particular are almost a going within, going under. I am literally going under on Thursday, but they are a going within to retrieve something, a gift, a conception, in order to birth it after. I can really feel that. I know the process of creativity. I know the process of delivery, whether that's a child or an idea or a business or a healing. I know the process and where I am in that process. And I know that from combining all energies that I work with, which feels really relevant this week, to combine everything that we know now, to bring it together. Why? To make things easier. I see, and I feel so emotional, I see so many people doing the same thing, just in different ways. I see many people living the same stories and the same pain, just in different ways. And I see the impact that this has on the individual, but also on the collective. When we do the same thing in different ways, we separate that one thing into many different branches, which is beautiful. But without balance, that separation widens, that gap widens. The people that we hear on the radio that are poor are those that no longer work when they could be all of us. The people that need healing or, may catch this dis-ease that is the pandemic are those that don't wash their hands, or those that don't wear masks, or those that are high risk, when in truth they're all one and the same. In truth, medicine, energy, love, wealth, abundance are all one and the same. The fact that I'm sat outside the hospital ready to go in and actually meet my mother first, who is having a biopsy on her liver, isn't lost on me. On many, many levels, I feel as though the mother is sick. And that is my own, that is the mother archetype and how we create. That is the earth mother. And it feels as though it is coming from the liver, the solar plexus, the power, the control. When we stand in our own light, when we stand in our own power, we have abundance. When we stand in who we are, we're not the branches of what we do anymore. We're not the branches of our roles. We are the trunk, our very essence and our very core. And in that space there is huge abundance. And in that space there is great clarity and focus of where we came from. There is a great stillness. No longer a need to overachieve. No longer a need to function at this high rate that constantly either tires out ourselves, our beliefs, our purpose, our bodies, or the very ground that we walk on. It can be a very different place when we let go of what we once knew. It can be a transitional rites of passage when we deliver what once was in order to receive what now is. And whether that's a child and we become a parent, a marriage and we become a spouse committed, a job and we have responsibilities. It can be an interesting space to be in. But it also can be very calm and very simple if we just let go. If we just let go of the belief that in order to be poor, we have no money. If we just release the understanding that wealth is different for us all. If we were to move forward, like the song on the radio today, and find the love within us, we would recognize that actually we're all the same. That actually there is enough to go around. That actually anything you have in excess is excess for a reason. An opportunity to pass it forward. Now that could be time. I don't know who will watch this video, or, my ego could say, is it worth filming? Is it worth sharing? But I have time. I have a moment to share what came through from the earth, what came through as guidance. And that may reach one person. That may stay on my phone and help myself to clear the energy. But I have time, and I have a voice, and I have power in that, knowing that I can make a difference. And there are others out there who have more money than other people, and there's power in that, and it can be shared to make a difference. There are others out there who have great skills and great knowledge, and there's power in that, and it can be shared to make a difference. You can't take it with you. You can't take the money with you. You can't take the skills that you have gained purely with you. They are here, all of it, to be shared. The abundance is to be shared. The wealth is to be shared. The love is to be shared. It is always there. It will always be there. And it doesn't ask you what you do for a living. It doesn't ask you what qualifications you have, or whether you are good enough, or who you saved that day, or how much money you made. It just asks you to accept that you are love, that you've always been love, and that you're here to share that love freely. I'm not going to do the tarot. They are here in my bag. They are always with me, like all guidance. But until we realise that it isn't the tree branches, until we realise that it isn't the tools that make the person, we'll never truly get the guidance underneath it all that's been there all along. That you have the power to make a difference in any way, shape or form that you can. You have the power to change creation and the very world that is being born. You have that within you. Every tool will show you this. Every healing will bring this up. Every tarot card reading, every purpose, every job, every relationship will continue to dig until you realize that from the very moment you were here, you were enough. You've always been enough. You are abundant, you are very wealthy, and you are here to share that however you can, because that's what you're here to share. I'm going to go on in. I need to have a COVID swab in about 2 hours to see whether or not I too carry this imbalance, this dis-ease that is prevalent in the world at the moment. So wish me luck. I shall now be going to see my mother to also have a swab up my nose and down my throat. And yeah, whatever you have in excess right now, don't hold on to it. Let it be passed forward. It could be stories, lessons, medicine, something that you've seen that made you smile. Pass it forward. Anything that you have in excess now. Restore that balance. Take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. I may pop in, I may not. I may go deep into solitude now, because this week in particular feels like a great opportunity for those willing to go there, to be, and to listen, to receive great guidance on what is about to be delivered for ourselves and for everybody. So take care. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.